It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the 49ers and the Bears, next on Madden Football.
One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago. Today it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. Week one of a new NFL season. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis back with you for another year from the booth. And Charles, these San Francisco 49ers last postseason, remember they were a 6 seed, came within one quarter of getting to the Super Bowl. Quite a story, and it certainly creates a lot of optimism as they begin a new season today against Chicago.
And how about the amount of history between these two franchises? You're talking two of the oldest and proudest teams in the entire league, let alone the NFC. And how about their all-time series? It's tied at 32 wins each with one tie. And how about this? They've alternated wins the last 7 meetings. Should make for a nice battle.
The veteran kicker Robbie Gould set to get us started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Takes it at the 7. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Chicago's offense running out, and something they hope to see for years and years to come. Second-year pro Justin Fields leading the way.
Justin Fields endured some literal growing pains his rookie season, taking hits and being forced to run for it behind a porous offensive line. But he also had moments where he showed his upside as a franchise quarterback. He did win 2 of his first 3 starts and had a 100-yard rushing game against San Francisco in Week 8. Several offseason changes in Chicago should help get Fields some help in year 2.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Fields. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Fielded just inside the 20. Dances by him. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Now here's Trey Lance leading this 49er offense onto the field. Some very big expectations for the second-year signal caller.
San Francisco opted not to throw Trey Lance into the fire right away, bringing him along slowly last season. He still drew 2 starts, though, and showed flashes of his huge dual-threat potential in both. Almost 100 yards on the ground in a tough one against Arizona, and 280 total yards in a win over Houston. No bringing along slowly in year 2. The keys to the car are officially his.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw, it's Lance. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. So the completion good for 7 there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Throwing now is Lance. Got an open man. It's McLeod. And he is going to have a Niners first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete there to McLeod. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. On second down, here's Mitchell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down limit.
They sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing it for a loss.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And Lance now to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They brought in the heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the option, running left is Lance.
Holding, offense.
The left tackle, Trent Williams, guilty there. Here's Lance. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. Now a 2nd down at 6. To throw is Fields. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, you know, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Lance going to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Lance looking to throw it. And fights him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors at that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there.
Under pressure, they got him again. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
That's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And this will be taken at the 13. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. From the 29, Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. We're scoreless after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
Fields throw taken in by Pringle. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Throwing again is Fields. Bananas Pettis. It's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But you do need to know as a young quarterback that if you're going to spread the field, the ball's got to come out quick, and you have to know where to go with the football, really, in pre-snap. Identify where you want to go and get rid of it.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now it's Fields. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now here's Trenton Gill now. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
But you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they've got it 1st and goal at the 3. What a place to start. They're quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3. Montgomery will take it in. Touchdown Bears. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. This offense hoping to do better than last drive. Remember, they had the fumble that set up the short field, and then they gave up the touchdown CD.
And so many people talk about how you have to have a short memory after you make a mistake in the NFL. I don't totally subscribe to that, partner. I think that you have to remember what you did and figure out how to not do it again. Get out there and execute the next time out. Avoid those errors and get some momentum built back up for your offense.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Partner, find me a star more on the rise than Deebo Samuel after last season. Wide receiver, running back, kick returner. This man does it all for the San Francisco 49ers. Ranked 3rd in the league in all-purpose yardage and deservedly made first-team All-Pro. Building on that with a first down here.
Lance now on first down. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. On play action, Lance steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now Lance.
And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there's a 49er who's in some discomfort. Boy, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go with the option, coming right. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Fields now to throw. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery.
Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
But it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Now here's Trenton Gill on to punt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10.
Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
Drive starts with a give to Mitchell.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. From the 36,
Lance.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Lance on target to Samuel for a Niner first.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. First down, San Francisco, the pickup, 14 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Again, they'll throw it with Lance.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
He was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Mario Edwards Jr. in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Here's Fields. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
A shotgun snap, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Again, Fields.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
From the 10. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he returns this to the 22. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Throwing his Lance on third down. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Great move by Montgomery. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. To throw is Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. On second down, Montgomery. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. From the gun on third down, Fields. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on third down, Lance drops this underneath. It's Mitchell.
And they'll get him down at the 34. He's going to be short of the first by a few yards. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 16, Fields. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10.
At their own 24.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
First down, here's Mitchell.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Right back to Mitchell here.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And Lance going to throw.
Dancing, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But
that's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Jason Verrett and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Well, here this 3rd quarter, the whole complexion of the ball game flips on a dime there, CD. This is back to a 1-score game.
And sometimes when your offense is sputtering, you as a defensive unit have to take it upon yourselves to say, we've got to go out there, maybe take a few chances along the way, and see if we can generate some points ourselves. And lo and behold, they were able to deliver.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 1st down, it's Fields.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down.
Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line.
Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Now it's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Fields. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now Fields. Forced out to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
Second down, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. He couldn't find anywhere to move the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. Fields going to keep it once more. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index, because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a 49ers 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Lance looks to throw again. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Lance now on first down. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. From the 24, Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
From the gun, a give to Mitchell. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another run with Mitchell. Now the ball comes loose. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Now that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Gould able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
49ers 14.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears now ready to take over again. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down. Fields. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Fields now to throw. That's complete to Mooney. And he needed to get to the midfield stripe, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. From the 17, Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Lance finding Kittle, 1st down San Francisco. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Being chased out left. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And they take a knee. Now Montgomery running right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film and find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One final try now for Lance. And that's dropped underneath to Mitchell. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. The CD always a little extra excitement for Week 1. And one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Bears, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.